Dog, that's not the part of the plan. I got international assassins from New York to Japan, from Iran to Sudan, mass soldiers in vans, and that's just one borough, Bronx $1 million man. We put American history in the motherfucking X. I put your jibs on the curb and crush your bones.
Sara Kana, I just want to hear the essence of it, man. Tell me about what you got going on with it. How did you embark on the game, and just what made you, what makes you you?
Oh man, the crazy Sara Kana that everybody hates.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I came in to get, I was always going everywhere in the streets battling. Then Fight Club, I went to Fight Club and I battled. I was the only female at the time. This was way after the Remy and Lux situation. During the Remy and Lux situation, I was around there, and then I finally got the chance to, get on that pool table and, switch some bars and kept it moving and stuck around with Fight Club. Shout out to International P, J, Von Dutch, everybody that helped, Fight Club when it was definitely prominent. You know what I mean? And then I would say around that time, in the time that, we were talking about, the internet, Battle League started flourishing big time, and it was kind of like, at the time, there was no DVDs, you know what I mean? We didn't have the, Sub-Zero. I remember the Sub-Zero DVDs were still out. The Smack DVDs, of course. You, of course, even French had the Cocaine, Cocaine City joint. So when those kind of died out and the internet battle scene came in, I got a call from, shout out to Direct and, Brother KM and everybody who gave me a call about Grind Time.
Right.
At the time was emergent. Now, Grind Time wasn't the only one because they had the jump off, the street battles.
Yeah,
the jump
Harry.
Off,
Yeah, man.
Harry.
Yep.
Shout out to Harry. You know what I mean? And then at that time, I know Mel can say Lions Den was building up, and this man recorded, what I'm saying? That's his first battle.
Yeah.
Let's not forget history. You know what I mean? This is the distribution person that taught a lot of them how to do this. So I'm sitting with the person that Smack should be recognizing right about now. So,
True.
You know what I'm saying? Facts is facts. But once I got the call from Grind Time, at the time, I'm not going to lie, I wasn't really looking to battle as much as I was looking to help the movement. But I also did realize New York City was very, very, we had a drought on female battlers, female anything.
But can I say this, Sarah, just to jump in? So at the time, right, but I still knew you as an artist, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Beside the fact of just saying, because people, you don't want to just get labeled as just that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I come here, I also come here and to get the thorough information too. You're an artist, but also the thoroughness or whatever, because now, you look at Grind Time, you broke down the history of other individuals, but at that time, here it is, you're at that forefront, right? You're hosting, you're doing this, it was a slew of days.
Yeah.
This being that female with power amongst a host of men.
I had to shout out Penn, Immortal Technique,
right.
End of the Week,
right.
You know what I'm saying, New Eurekan,
right.
At the time with the words, anything that was in New York City that had anything to do with hip-hop, I just magnetized to it.
Right.
I perfected it until I had my name buzzing from here to there, and if it wasn't buzzing from here to there, then I wasn't going to stop till it started buzzing.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's how come I always bumped into people everywhere,
and
I bumped into a lot of people because I went to, if it was an open mic, I was doing it. If it was a cypher, I was doing it. If it was a battle, I was doing whatever it took to make sure you remembered who I was. And even though by the time it got to the internet, it was different because I never knew what it was to have people attack you YouTube-wise, you know what I mean? So it took a lot for me to kind of like translate to, that whole online battling thing.
Right,
but the music-wise was always the first and foremost thing that I was primarily known for.
Right.
I was flowing off the top of the head, EO Dub, MC Challenge champion, you know what I mean? Then Champions of the Champions, then there was just so many levels to just doing music. It was just something that I attracted myself to. Like to this day, we in the studio right now. I'm ready to finish up my project that we ready to drop. You know what I'm saying? The story of Anna Karis. You know what I mean? Metal Mind State. You know what I mean? Metal Mind State meaning that it's not that you're hard-headed. It's just you're so driven that you can run through walls. You know what I mean? Like, nothing can stop you, not anything. That metal mind state is just a...
Anna Karis, though. Tell me Anna Karis. What that.
Anna Karis is pretty much Sara Kana. You know what I'm saying? And it's basically, there'll be songs on the album that will relate to a lot of females that are not models, that do not, you know, do not possess what people would consider a superstar. You know what I mean? Because we're in a time in this world where everything is programmable from your brain down to what you're used to seeing. So if I don't possess the look that people are attracted to instantly when they see it,
quote unquote,
then it gets overlooked.
Quote unquote.
You know what I mean?
Quote
So
unquote.
I'm trying to represent the everyday chick that just so happens to be talented but won't wear a dress, and I'm not going to conform to what everybody wants me to conform to. I am an openly gay woman. I like speaking about being openly gay.
Hey, nothing wrong with it.
You know what I mean?
What it is. I mean, what it is.
And I mean, I had that song Full Time Just Move. That what I did was I took all the, I would say the top 10 pop records and just turned them into lesbian records. And you know what I mean? That could be looked up right now. Full Time Just Move.
So let me ask you. This is good. So we get some history. So I want to now. So now what I want to do is I want to bring it back. I want to get to grind time, right?
Yes.
Because you know when I come to you, I'm coming to you just to, like I said, get a better understanding, not only of just you as a female bleeding off into this man, quote unquote, world of battling, right? Getting into it, right? And then creating your movement.
Gotcha.
Getting involved in other female leagues or whatever, but also still generating, you know, some financial, like a financial draw that's coming in from that. Also being able to have a reach West Coast bound, like. I want you to bring it up, and then I really want to get into that female movement. You dig what I'm saying? The bras and brush. I want all of that. I got talk about
that right now.
Come on.
Well, with Grind Time, there was no females at first. It was just like me here in New York City, and then Young Goddess was in the Midwest, who was, you know, battling for Grind Time at the time or whatever. So we were pretty much the only two relevant ones at the time.
Okay.
And we were the first female battle caught on film after years and years and years. Now this is pre Queen of the Ring.
Right.
This is pre a lot of leagues that are out.
Of course.
Right now.
Not to take away from them, but this being, you know, this is history.
This is history. Shout out to Debo. They got more history in me than a lot of people in battle rap period. Because we were with Party Artie when Artie had came back from battling Mook. We was at this open mic in 161 with Emma E2K. You know what I'm saying? Again, pre-King of the Ring, pre-Queen of the Ring,
Grind season.
Grind season, what up? So, with that being said, when I got to Grind Time and Battle Goddess, it became very clear to me that there was a very strong void for female battle rap. So, after I battled Goddess, I wanted to also help her. And I spoke to Direct, shout out to Direct, and I was like, I think that Goddess has what it takes to really go somewhere. You know what I mean? We couldn't find Luck. The Luck was, of course, concentrating on music and the things that she wanted to do. Shout out to her. And after that, like, I got calls to battle a young lady named QB in Connecticut, and Pan got called, you know, from Cortez concerning a young lady named Misfit. You know what I'm saying?
Right, talk about it. This is good.
You know what I mean? So I battled QB, and I wasn't battling to win or lose. I was battling just to get the chicks involved.
Of course.
So while everybody was like,
oh,
she sucks, she's this, she's that. But if it wasn't for me battling,
strategic,
I brought QB to Grind Time because QB was nasty then, and she nasty with it now. You know what I mean?
So strategic.
Goddess. You know what I'm saying? The whole point of me believing in Goddess is because she was nasty then, and she nasty with it now. And shout out to her for doing Gnome, you know, battling the first lady of URL, Miss Hustle. You know what I mean? But that's what the goal was for me. The goal was for me to get to a point where the rotation of female battle rap would start all over again, and there'll be a new revolving door of new chicks all the time. You know what I mean? So when I set up QB versus Goddess, and we started setting up the Misfits, you know what I'm saying, versus QB, and then the ball started rolling, you know, it became clear to me, we used to have conference calls for Grind Time because, you know, once again, it was the world's largest battle league. They were all over the world, so we had to have group conference calls.
Right.
And that's what we did. We had a conference call one time, and I, voiced my concern and said I would love to set up a female movement that is relevant with relevant females to continue this whole, okay, female battle rap is still here, still breathing. You know what I mean? And of course, shout out to Direct, shout out to Pan Lush and Mad Hills. They were all for it. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, you know, the things were dying down with Grind Time at the time. Everybody was
politics
much,
behind it,
you know, going their separate ways. It just seemed so natural for me to do my own thing. But what I wanted to do was to create this battle rap booking agency to continue bringing in this new faces that didn't know where to go and how to get there.
Right.
But I also wanted there to be some type of battling situation. So I wanted Bars&BraStraps to kind of be molded the way Grind Time was a little bit. Because if you notice, I did my first event in New York. You know what I mean? And then shout out to Ms. The Great in Milwaukee, Midwest, who does Go Hard, Go Home and LATV. She gave me a call. And she was saying how just like in New York, there was a drought. In the Midwest, there was a drought. So my job, once Queen of the Rain came along and I started, you know, helping getting the girls in different stages and Goddesses, you know, now being looked at as number one, and you have QB, like, looked at as number one, and Misfit, it became clear that now, okay, New York is covered, let me start moving around the spectrums and stuff. So when me and Miz discussed having the whole Bars&BraStraps Midwest, and her first event, when we made the announcement, it went from having just this one female battle rapper that did my event, shout out to Vixen, to her having about 20 girls signed up in the Midwest, Milwaukee, for the Bars&BraStraps Midwest. So shout out to Marasha also, who's still, you know, still rocking with us. Shout out to Vixen. Shout out to Ash Cash. A lot of these girls went from New York to the Midwest, Midwest to here to there, and that's the point. You know what I mean?
Right.
In that whole process of her doing the Midwest Bars&BraStraps, I wanted to concentrate on the booking. At the time, Bars&BraStraps was the first booking / league under the URL brand. And we did, you know, the Goddess versus Duchess, what can be looked up. Shout out to Duchess and Persia, by the way, now that you know, gotta shout everybody out.
Because you know it's a big
game. But those are the main girls that I book for. You know what I mean? I book for Duchess, I book for Persia, and if there's females that call me and say, listen, or managers that call me and say, I want to get my girls on a certain card, then that's what I do. I make the phone calls, especially if the girls are self-sellable. It's like a product that sells itself.
So now this is good. Now this is good. So see, and now you're in a position, right? To sort of dictate, right?
Yeah.
Sort of, because now, like you said, now it's like a brand.
Yeah.
You know, and brand now becomes, are you marketable?
Yeah.
So now you're playing with quote unquote somebody's life. But we know that with this hip hop, especially with battling, you know, people will throw up these quotes, are you hating if you don't push me or this and that? Sara Kana, how was that transition from now, okay, I'm an artist, I was battling, but now I'm sort of facilitating people's lives,
and helping
careers. How was that? How was that process?
I mean, first you got to learn how to schedule yourself appropriately. That's the one thing I think everybody has trouble with, scheduling your personal life with this and doing music. I just decided that it all has to bind together somehow. You know what I mean? The name Sara Kana has to be relevant. When you hear the name Sara Kana, it's relevant to female battle rap. It should be relevant to my music as well.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So if you're like, okay, we know this is Sara Kana who just so happens to book these battles, who plans the events, and, you know, this and that, she also has music. You know what I mean? So just making sure, like, okay, if I know I'm doing an event and I just so happen, me and Rob just set up a video, or we just finished recording some shit, then okay, boom, that's going on in the, you know, the DVD or the footage. Right. Which was what everybody should be doing, marketing yourself through your product.
Of course.
If I know my product is Bars&BraStraps, this is my company, and I'm just so happen to have talented female battle rappers that just so happen to also know how to do music, then how much of a message am I putting out there without being on my ground? You know what I mean? So if I'm sitting there telling you to do this, this, and that, you got to be able to market yourself, promote yourself. Don't rely on nobody. Don't this, and I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? That I'm giving off the wrong message.
So now to get some clarity on it, are we talking? So are those the criterias? Because now, once again, we know that your ideology is that I have to practice what I'm actually putting out there. I'm going to take advantage of the fact that, oh yes, the brand has become such and such. And my ideology of doing this was the fact that I wanted to push myself also. So now that I'm facilitating people's careers, you think what I'm saying? Even if it's for that one day, that major battle, what was the criteria? They called you, right?
Yeah.
And they said,
I want to battle.
Yeah. How do you handle that?
Well, if it's a first timer,
you're dealing with females. You're a female. Forget the fact of what you like, how you like it. You're a female first, so you know how.
What's funny about that though? The ones that really were able to kick in the door to keep this rolling, it's just funny. It ended up being a lot of lesbian battle rappers. You know what I mean? And just like me, just some of them, just you know what I mean. And I had to come to grips with the fact that there's going to be female battle rappers from all walks of life.
Right.
That what can be overlooked is your looks if you got these bars. If you can't be denied if you got these bars.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when somebody new comes to me and says, you know what, I want to battle. I want to battle for you. I want to battle for them. I want to battle for them. I'm usually honest about it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And the first thing that I say is, you know, if you've never battled before, and if you're trying to look into battle rapping, I would say do your research and your homework first to know what you're going to walk into. Then before I can sit there and I don't co-sign just to co-sign. Like,
right, okay.
You know, I can help. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I know what it's like for somebody to just overlook me. You know what I mean? I can't say that I can totally blow you up. I can say I can point you in the right direction. So if I know a female is going to call me and she wants a battle, and I know there's a certain league that's kind of like a B league or let's say just not as strong of a league as other leagues, and let's get your feet wet then. Go try it here. Call up listen, you looking for a female battle rappers, new female battle rappers. This is a new face. She's never battled before. Build with her. You know what I mean?
So, sorry, can you tell us some of those? Because now I want this to, you know, if you put it out there, you dig what I'm saying? Because now a lot of times, PSA fences, we put this in a mag, we get it right up, and then we put it online, we put it on the site. You know, people will challenge that. You know, people will say, well, listen, so now if she's saying that, okay, I want to embark on interview, I want to embark on a battle.
Yeah.
She didn't tell me how to go about doing this or what league should I be looking for. So now
it's like she coming in thinking, you know, I want to battle Lux.
Right.
So wow.
Right.
But I get wrong. I got bars.
So now you get that person that they've been battling. You heard about them, right? But you don't think that they're fit for a league.
Yeah.
Tell us what type of female leagues are there. You know, if there's a league just for the beginners, is there a league for A-list female battle rappers? Help break those down, because now people are looking to you for information. You dig what I'm saying?
You know, the league for A-listers for females has always been of Queen of the Ring.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Shout out to them for that. You
right.
know what I mean? Because they build, again, everybody come from somewhere.
Right.
But in the beginning, when I used to speak to girls, shout out to K Prophet again, shout out to QB, whenever they would speak to me about battling at the time, Queen of the Ring was fresh, you know what I mean? It was new, and he had started off with the Duchess, Flo, E Hearts, and everybody. That it was just nothing to be like, yo, there's this new chick, you know what I mean? And she hasn't battled before, you know what I mean? Now this is before they had the sparring sessions. This is before Grand Time even had tryouts. This is before people really were embracing tryouts. The West Coast was doing tryouts crazy.
Okay, so now
West Coast was doing tryouts crazy, and they had the females out there too. You know what I'm saying? When they used to call me, and if I was still involved with Grind Time, I would definitely try to set up some type of tryout. And most of the time when it was Grind Time, everything got filmed. From the tryouts, everything.
What did tryouts consist of?
Consisted of, number one, you knew. Now, See, the internet battling scene turned into preparation. You know,
Okay.
you had to prep. When you was doing Fight Club or any of these joints, there was no prep. You just showed up and that's who you battled. And there was no homework done, no personal.
Right.
It's just who you battled. Once the grind times and the smacks and everybody came along, you had time to prep. So we would find another opponent that was equal of them,
Okay.
which means if this other opponent never had a battle either, then you're going to battle them too because we need an even playing field here. And one of you two is going to have to come out the victor, the shining, the one who really won. You know what I mean? So we would book them versus a female who never really battled either. You know what I mean? At the time, for example, when Cortez brought Misfit around Penn and Penn gave me a call like, listen, she spits on fire, whatever. QB's second battle was gonna be needed. You know what I mean? Her first battle on Grind Time, I set up with a doozy. It was Goddess. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm setting up Misfit with a doozy. So now it seemed like an even playing field.
Okay.
Like, okay, you did Goddess. You still, you know what I mean? Let's do this Misfit versus QB.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's the same thing when it came down to shout out to my verse, who right now is popping. You know what I mean? When she came around, she wanted to do battle. She's known for music.
Right.
And also, she's also known for being a rock steady MC. You know what I mean? So when she started buzzing and coming around and she said she wanted to do battle rap, you know, of course, I set up her first battle, which was with a league that I don't think no longer exists called Voice Box in Arizona, and she killed it. Then we set up another battle versus her versus Duchess, and she did very well in that battle and was able to snag the sparring sessions with Queen of the Ring. You can look up her battle right now versus Mulatto Black. My verse versus Mulatto Black is an excellent battle. These are two females that are trying their first time, you know, to really go hard in battle rap, and they both displayed excellent. You know what I mean?
See, and this is what we want to see because you're breaking it down. You know what I mean? Like, you can come in and tell me the history, but sometimes you want to see the bottom up. You know what I'm saying? You want to see the criteria.
If you want to get in there, you gotta make yourself known.
So now, so let me ask you this. So now, at this moment, do you feel that the female battle rap scene is where it's at? Do you feel that it's not at its peak? Or do it have the potential to get to the peak?
I feel like it's getting there right now. I feel like people are paying attention now, and they're paying attention. You know what I mean? Because of my bodies of work, you know, Babs, Queen of the Ring, you know, Ray's body of work, and the dedication we put behind saying these women are here.
Right.
Give them the respect they deserve. They go through a lot. They've been having to deal with, you know, the whole, you know, female battle rappers got ghostwriters. And there was some, you know, female battle rappers that had ghostwriters, but ironically, there were some male rappers that had ghostwriters.
Right. So
you know
what makes it that,
So it's kind of like they deal with a lot, but between having, you know, Queen of the Ring have Overhead versus Miss Hustle and having the 40 Bars versus Daylight and Quiet Room having like Official versus Daylight and these females can hang verbally, you know what I mean? It really has nothing to do with them being females at all. It has to do with the level of mentality you have and your intelligence to be nice with your pen game and be able to memorize it and perform it. You know what I mean? And a lot of these females are performers, you know what I mean? Shout out to 40 Bars, Official, again, QB, Hustle, you know what I mean? Goddess, Jazz, Misfit, you know what I mean? We're talking about performers. Those ladies are battle rappers that can perform and that have music. You know what I mean? So when we discussing what's going on right now, it's to a point where the guys are like, you know, these chicks is a little, you know, they got fire. You know what I mean? Some of them look really good. Some of them do look good. It's like, oh wow, like, damn, this Hustle kind of hung it out over it. Damn, 40 Bars, damn, Official beat Daylight. No, it has nothing to do with them being females. Bars is bars. If you gonna spit bars at them, you spitting bars at an opponent. That's not a female.
Right.
That's your opponent. Kill or be killed at that point. What up, y'all? Sara Kana, Battle Raps Day 1. You heard me? Team Hami, PoisonPen.tv, Bars&BraStraps. We here. It's Raw Battle Magazine. What up, Mel? Team Hami.
Motherfucking X. I put your jibs on the curb and crush your bones in your neck. Put your moms on the strip and keep that slut bag in check. And rape your